VC, it's Steve Whitty here. The first video of 2019, vinyl tag 2019. First off, to my left, you'll see I've got a new record collector calendar. This year they're focusing on the fact that they turned 40. It's going to be, their magazine will be 40 years old this year. So they're showing classic covers from past editions. So if I'm sitting here when I'm doing the video, you may get to see throughout the year some more old covers. As I said, this video is the vinyl tag 2019 annual tradition. This is the third one I've participated in, and it's a good way. It's just good set of questions, just good way of finding out what people like and what and don't like, I suppose. So let's move on. So the best find of 2019, and I had some good finds, but in the end, I went back to an album that I had in the youth, and it came also because it came from a VC meetup I had in Leeds. So I was going to say my best find of 2019 was Kiss's Music from the Elder. I had this as a kid. What was it? As a 16-year-old, and I played it to death. So very pleased to find another copy of that. Question number 2, shout out to other VC channels, and I'm going to carry on the fact as I'm going to look shout out people who've got less subscribers than me, and the two I've got is Balding Boomer and Christopher Kibler, both very good channels, very knowledgeable, very entertaining. I think deserve a few more subscribers. So what holes are you looking to fill in your collection? Number 3. I did recently a best of British bands video, all my favourite British bands. The top 2 were 3 and Mott the Hoople, and with 3 I've got to get, for vinyl wise, I've got to get Fire and Water of all things, and Tons of Sobs, which is going to be Tons of Sobs is going to be difficult, I think. And then Mott the Hoople. Well, I've been lucky recently because I've recently picked up Mad Shadows and Brain Capers. But I think in the end, I've got to get the self-titled debut. And I've got Wildlife, but it's not with a cover. I picked it, it was a charity shop find, it was in really rough. It's not in the greatest state, so another copy of Wildlife wouldn't go amiss. A cheap album that's really good. Well, I brought, the same day, I brought a couple of quid, Ray Charles, Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. This is, let me turn the glare off there. There we go. Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. Got that for a couple of quid, and in the bin there also was volume for £2 was volume 2. So two classic albums for 4 quid. Wasn't going to say no to that, and they are really good albums. Your favourite side projects? It's difficult because I never really thought about it. Though I did pick up an album before Christmas that I did actually quite enjoy. I was quite surprised, and it's Highwaymen, which features the talents of Chris Christopherson, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings. I didn't think I would like it. I knew the title track Highwaymen, but I thought, this is worth picking up. I thought I'd give it a go. I actually quite enjoyed it. Excuse me, let's have a cup of tea. I'll just put it down there, be easier. Next up, a song from an artist stroke band that is uncharacteristic of their catalogue. I had to think about this one. Somebody thrown a left curve. In the end, I've picked from this album, I'm Nearly Famous by Cliff Richard. I've picked Devil Woman, which was totally uncharacteristic. It's I wouldn't say it's heavy, but there was a lot more guitar in it, and the whole ethos of the song. I mean, he gave him his first top 10 hit in the US, and this album was a renaissance in his career. He really had gone down the toilet by that time, and that and Miss Unites, but Devil Woman, it sort of stands out, thinking, well, this is totally different from Cliff, given that he's well publicised his Christian faith and all that. So yeah, that was my choice for that. Last album you purchased? Well, I'll show you one of the albums I purchased yesterday. I put it up on the Facebook page. This is Stiff Little Fingers in Flammable Material. This is the reissue on Rough Trade. It's got the flame on the label. Okay, a great album with a bad cover. And in the end, I went for this. I actually enjoy this album, Goodbye Cream. But, God man, that is so cheesy. And I think they're smiling through gritted teeth, because I think at that point they were sick of the sight of each other. Well, particularly Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker were. So, yeah, a good album. But I just thought a very cheesy naff cover. And then a bad album with a cool cover. It's difficult because I don't think I've got bad albums. I've got albums that are difficult to listen to, and I think, oh, maybe why did I buy that? So I've picked up an album. It's not my favourite from this band. I wouldn't say it's a bad album. It's just not as good as their others. But I always like the cover, and that's Eurythmics Savage. I just think Annie Lennox looks so. I just love that cover. Okay, a blues album I'll show you two. I haven't got many blues albums because I've got a compilation, The World of John Mayall, and I also managed to pick up. I've got The World of John Mayall Volume 2. An earworm song. Well, it isn't a song as much as a tune. This was a hit single in the late 60s. I'm trying to think what year it was. 1967. And it's Whistling Jack Smith, I Was Kaiser Bill's Batman. And it's basically a whistling tune. And that's basically how it goes. But when you hear it, you can't stop whistling it yourself. So I warn you, if you do want to check it out on YouTube or any of the streaming sites, you might be whistling it for the rest of the day. An historically important artist, I've gone for Otis Redding because he's the man with the greatest voice ever. And if I had a dream band, he'd be the vocalist, the front man. An album you own because of your parents. And I picked this up. My mum and dad didn't have that many records. They did have a couple of albums. And the cover of this album freaked me out as a child. And the album, it's from the Seekers, Hide and Seekers. I picked this up for the pennies purely because they used to have it. And it's just the way the album art, the way the heads are. I used to stare at it, and it used to freak me out. On the album itself, I'm trying to think what they've got. Morningtown Ride is the best known track on here. That was a staple of Junior Choice on the radio when I was growing up. So Seekers were quite actually very big. Very big at the time. I think it was national news in Australia when they split up, when Judith Durham left the band. Okay, the best pound bin finds. Well, I'm going to show a couple by this one artist. I've got Cream, Fresh Cream, and Disraeli Gears. I found in the pound bin. The covers were a bit naff. They're mono, and they're on the Reaction label, the original Reaction label. So very pleased to pick those up. To have those in my collection. Favourite double album. I had to think about that. I didn't want to make it a comp. I didn't want to make it a live album. But I, in the end, picked The Wall. Pink Floyd's The Wall. Had it on cassette, I've had it on CD, now I've had it on record. It's one album I always go back to. And then an album you learnt about from the VC last year. And I'm not sure if it was last year or it might have been the year before. Because I did go for a period where I stopped watching videos, so I wasn't aware of much. But an album I picked up primarily because of James Griffith's video on Andy McMaster from the Motors. When we had the VC meet up in Manchester in last February, this was in the £2 bins. This is their album, Tournament Steps. This is their last album, and this was produced by Jimmy Irvine. They were down just as the pair, Nick Garvey and Andy McMaster, and it sort of a lot of money was spent on it, and it sort of stiffed, and that was the end of the Motors. So it was that album. And next, a 10-inch record. I've got Souvenir by OMD, 10-inch single. And then a 7-inch record. Well, I've just picked out probably one of my favourite 7-inch record. It's The Ruts in a Rut. This is a reissue on the People Unite, Mr. People Unite. And then favourite album to fall asleep to. I haven't got an automatic deck because I try and stay awake. But I suppose if it is an album, I would do I have fallen asleep listening to this? It's Ella Fitzgerald Sings Cole Porter. Something more bit mellow. I suppose jazz does that for me. So yes, I would probably it'd be that with the album I'd more likely to fall asleep to. And last question, your favourite VC experience, advice for people making videos. I'll start with the advice first. Don't get hung up on the number of subscribers. You'll watch channels like, oh, now I'm over 1,000 subscribers. Oh, I've got another 500 subscribers, 6,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 800, and your channel's just plodding along, picking up. Maybe a few, and you're thinking, well, why that's not happening? My videos don't appear any different to any others. Word of mouth goes around. It's small acorns, but I look at it this way: I've only got 237 subscribers, but when I do my videos, I get roughly between 80 to 100 views. So that's literally almost 1 in 3, or even if I'm lucky, 1 in 2 watch ratio, and I consider that to be quite good actually. So, don't despair. Just keep plodding along. Word of mouth, things like this. Vinyl tag. If you just started out making videos, watch as many vinyl tag videos as you can, and then subscribe to the people who've made them, and then they'll notice if you've subscribed, and you will. You'll just build up from there. Word of mouth. People will do shout outs, particularly for new channels, particularly if your content's good, or if you know what you're doing, you're knowledgeable. And there's a lot of encouragement in the VC. So don't worry about the number of subscribers. And the experience, it's got to be, if you can, arrange a meet up around your local area with the guys. It just makes it so. It makes it more than just posting videos and just sitting watching it on the tablet, PC or television, whatever. Where if you can meet up, go around a record fair, go to a pub, bar, have a few drinks, maybe have something to eat, just chew the fat with people. It's just excellent. So those are my 20 questions on the vinyl tag. So if you liked what you've seen, you've not stumbled across the channel for the first time, click on the subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Love the interaction. Feel free to comment. I will always get back to you with a reply. And so, until the next video, look after yourselves, keep spinning, more importantly, keep smiling.